somebody had said something about Big Daddy Kane, and then like 30 minutes later, he's talking on the radio. Next thing you know, you hear, hey, what's up, bro? Hey, beat on the air.
When you hear the name Big Daddy Kane, most people picture a lyrical legend, not some street-hardened enforcer. He's known for his razor-sharp bars, his smooth style, and his massive influence on hip-hop. But just like how MC Hammer was once brushed off as just a flashy dancer, until folks learned he was really certified in the streets, Kane had a whole other side to him that caught people off guard. Yeah, Kane had a rep, a quiet one, for not taking disrespect lightly. Behind that smooth voice and polished flow was someone you didn't want to cross.
Doing too much. I need the stage. I need the stage, split boy. That ain't my problem.
And don't just take our word for it. Major names in the game have vouched for this. Mike Tyson himself once dropped a wild story about Kane. Tyson said that somebody got bold and started talking slick about Kane. And not even an hour later, while the dude was still live on the radio, Kane pulled up and put hands on him right there at the station. It was so real, people could hear the chaos going down live on air. Now, did Kane ever come out and confirm it? Nah, not directly. But that didn't stop the streets from talking. And if that wasn't enough proof of his no-nonsense side, fast forward to August 26, 2023. Big Daddy Kane headlined the Hip Hop 50 celebration at London's O2 Forum in Kentish Town. A well-earned spotlight for someone who didn't just help shape the game, but made it clear he wasn't to be played with, on or off the mic. The show wasn't just about Big Daddy Kane. The lineup was stacked with names like LG Onyx, Mazda Ace, and more. But it was during Kane's set that things took a left turn. Footage shows a masked figure casually strolling onto the stage and facing the crowd like he owned the place. That mystery man? It turned out to be Comanche Sly from the UK hip-hop crew Hijack. At first, Kane let it slide. Maybe he thought Sly would do his little moment and dip, but when Sly lingered and kept doing the most, Kane hit pause on the music and called him out right there. "You're doing too much, Playboy. I need the stage. You're doing too much."
I heard Big Daddy Kane actually had hands, man. Somebody,
He did. Big Daddy Kane was known to beat people up. He was like, he just was hot-tempered. He definitely was known to put his hands on people.
Then Kane gave him a little shove to clear the way, but Sly wasn't backing down. He shot back with something slick that clearly ticked Kane off. Kane clapped back, saying, "That ain't my problem." Next thing you know, Kane starts peeling off his jacket like he's ready to throw hands right on stage. It got heated fast until Kane's crew jumped in and defused the whole thing before it could explode. But the drama didn't end there. The next day, on August 27th, Hijack fired shots online with their side of the story. They were livid, blasting the DJs and promoters for allegedly always favoring the American acts and disrespecting the UK talent. In a Facebook post, they ranted, "As per usual, the DJs and promoters of the show licked the Americans and disrespected the UK side of the culture by not letting us perform. You were always unprofessional clowns." They added that Kane and his team didn't like it when they took the stage, and they weren't done. They called out the whole UK hip-hop scene, saying, "You promoters and DJs are the reason UK hip-hop never grew, playing UK hip-hop only in the last 5 minutes of your radio shows to cover your whack bit." Even though Kane was the one put on blast, the frustration was aimed at the whole system. Kane kept things smooth and classy in public when asked about the drama. In an interview, he made it clear that he's all about building unity between the OGs and the new school. "We had our shot, we did our thing," he said. "We're still here, and we got fans who ride for our catalog, so we're not here to compete with the younger cats or try to take their spot." Instead, Kane's looking to connect. He even said he'd love to sit down with artists like Lil Uzi Vert, Kodak Black, or the Migos just to build that bond. I think that's what's important. When the past generation can sit down with the future and drop some real game. That's the kind of energy Kane's on now. Mentor vibes mixed with wisdom from the trenches. But here's where it gets even more layered. Over the years, there's been plenty of whispers linking Big Daddy Kane to Brian Glaze Gibbs, one of NYC's most infamous street figures, known for his deep involvement in game back in the day. Whether those ties were real or just speculation, it added another edge to Kane's story. Most people never expected that kind of connection. Still, behind that rugged rep was a man deeply focused on giving back and lifting others up. Despite being one of the most respected MCs to ever touch a mic, Kane never turned his back on the next generation. He was all about opening doors and putting people on. One major example, he recognized raw talent in a young, hungry Jay-Z and started taking him out on tour. Ice-T even recalled, "I actually met Jay-Z with Kane. Kane brought Jay-Z over to my house." Kane later explained that Jay wasn't a typical hype man. It was more casual than that. He wasn't a hype man, Kane said. He made cameo appearances. When I'd leave the stage to switch outfits, I'd bring out Jay-Z and Positive K to freestyle till I came back. That's how legends look out for the future. Jay-Z didn't just tag along for the ride. He showed up on Big Daddy Kane's 1994 track Show Improve from the Daddy's Home album and even appeared in the video. And Kane didn't stop there. He also gave early shine to both Tupac and a then unknown Biggie Smalls by letting them freestyle live during his set at Madison Square Garden.
Somebody had said something about Big Daddy Kane, and then like 30 minutes later, he's talking on the radio, and next thing you know, you hear, hey, what's up, bro? Hey, stop! And Kane beat that on the air.
Imagine that. Two future legends getting their start on Kane's stage. That kind of move shows just how deep Kane's influence ran in the game. He wasn't just respected. He was royalty in hip-hop. But before all the legendary moments and star power, Kane was just another hungry kid grinding to make it out. Born on September 10th, 1968, in the heart of Brooklyn, Kane's journey started like many others, in the neighborhood and in the halls of high school. That's where he met Mr. C, who would go on to become his DJ and one of the key players in his rise to the top. By 1984, Kane linked up with Biz Markie, and that bond turned into a real brotherhood. Kane even co-wrote some of Biz's most iconic rhymes. Both eventually became core members of the legendary Juice Crew, a Queens-based powerhouse led by producer Marley Marl that helped shape the golden era of hip-hop. In 1987, Kane signed with Cold Chillin' Records, a label run by Tyrone Williams, Marley Marl's manager, and Len Fichtelberg. That same year, Kane dropped his debut single, Raw, and it hit hard. It blew up in the underground scene and put his name in everyone's mouth. As for the name Big Daddy Kane, it was a combo pulled straight from pop culture. Kane came from the Kung Fu TV series where David Carradine played a lone warrior, and Big Daddy was inspired by Vincent Price's character in the 1963 flick Beach Party. Kane became famous for his rapid-fire flow, able to tear up fast-paced beats, all while managing asthma. Nothing slowed him down. Big Daddy Kane didn't just shape the sound of late 80s and early 90s hip-hop, he defined the whole look. From the sharp high-top fade to custom velour suits and those unforgettable four-finger rings, his style was straight-up iconic. And his name? It wasn't just catchy. It stood for something. King Asiatic, nobody's equal. That right there says it all. His album, It's a Big Daddy Thing, was stacked with flavor, packed with 70s-inspired samples like Smooth Operator and the Teddy Riley-produced banger I Get the Job Done, which even cracked the R&B Top 40. Kane wasn't just rapping. He was crossing into new lanes and setting trends at the same time.
Big Daddy Kane talked about it.
And we heard him on the radio.
Mike, when was that?
In the 80s.
In the 80s?
And when it came to lyricism, Kane was a monster on the mic. Just listen to his verse on Marley Marl's legendary posse cut, The Symphony. He held his own alongside fellow Juice Crew heavyweights Craig G, Master Ace, and Cool G Rap, cementing his place as one of the fiercest spitters of his time. But Kane wasn't all flash and flows. He had something to say. In 1990, he stepped up big on Public Enemy's Fear of a Black Planet album, delivering a raw and honest verse on the track, Burn Hollywood Burn. With Chuck D and Ice Cube by his side, Kane took aim at Hollywood's racist portrayals of black people, especially the damaging roles pushed during the Jim Crow era. Kane zeroed in on how black women were often boxed into degrading, stereotypical characters. He dropped a powerful bar. As for playing a lawyer, out of the question. For what they play, Aunt Jemima's the perfect term. That line hit hard, calling out the way black women were reduced to servant roles while being shut out of dignified portrayals like doctors or lawyers. And here's the wild part. Nearly 30 years later, that same Aunt Jemima image Kane criticized was finally pulled from shelves in 2020, That's proof Kane wasn't just ahead of his time. He was way ahead, dropping socially conscious bars while still running the game. That same bold energy Kane brought to the mic carried straight into his collabs. In 1991, he linked up with R&B queen Patti LaBelle on her album Burnin', dropping a slick rap verse on the single Feels Like Another One. The combo of Patti's powerful vocals and Kane's lyrical fire was a perfect match. The track was a hit and proved just how smooth Kane could slide between genres without missing a beat. He didn't stop there. Kane even showed up on LaBelle's Live in New York concert video, locking in his crossover appeal for real. He wasn't just a rapper, he was a full-blown performer who could hold his own in any musical space. Kane also made noise in film. In 1992, he delivered the high-octane banger Enough Respect for the Juice soundtrack, the cult classic movie directed by Ernest Dickerson, starring Omar Epps and Tupac Shakur. The track hit hard, with Kane spitting bars at lightning speed that matched the raw, chaotic energy of the film perfectly. And let's not forget one of the biggest highlights of his career. Also in '91, Kane scored a Grammy for Best Rap Performance by a Duo or Group, thanks to his feature on Quincy Jones's Back on the Block.
Doing too much. I need the stage. I need the stage, Split. That ain't my problem. That ain't my problem.
That track was stacked with talent, blending hip-hop and R&B into a celebration of black music and culture. For Kane to be tapped for something that iconic, it showed just how much respect he held across the entire industry. Throughout the 90s, Kane kept pushing creative limits. Known for his fearless experimentation, he started leaning more into R&B vibes, trying out smoother sounds that sparked mixed reactions. Some fans loved the evolution, others weren't sure what to make of it, but Kane never played it safe. At the same time, his ties to the 5% Nation, a spiritual and philosophical movement, began showing up more in his lyrics. That shift brought praise for his depth and message, but also stirred up some critics. Either way, Kane stayed true to himself and kept speaking from the heart, whether fans were ready or not. For those who weren't familiar with or didn't vibe with the 5% Nation ideology, Kane's lyrical direction in the 90s didn't always hit the same. Albums like Looks Like a Job got solid critical praise, but they didn't push him back to the commercial peak he hit with It's a Big Daddy Thing. Still, Kane never disappeared. Not even close. He stayed grinding, touring nonstop and making sure his name stayed stamped in hip-hop culture way beyond the music charts. He also dipped into acting. In 1993, Kane made his big screen debut in Posse, a black western directed by Mario Van Peebles, where he held it down in a strong supporting role. That same year, he popped up in Robert Townsend's superhero comedy, The Meteor Man. Kane was clearly showing he could shine off the mic too. But of course, Kane wasn't one to play it safe. And the 90s came with controversy too. He stirred up headlines when he posed for Playgirl magazine, and then took it up another level with his appearance in Madonna's bold and provocative coffee table book, Sex. The book was packed with steamy celeb photo shoots, and Kane's spot in it had people talking. In 1995, he teamed up with MC Hammer and Tupac Shakur for the track Too Late Playa, also featuring Danny Boy, a rare and powerful link-up of hip-hop heavyweights. Around that same time, rumors started flying that Kane might sign with Death Row East, Suge Knight's planned East Coast branch of the notorious Death Row Records. That deal never came to life, but Kane didn't slow down. By 1997, he was back with Juice Crew fam like Frankie Cutlass, jumping on The Cypher Part 3, a throwback joint paying homage to hip-hop's golden days. Then, in 1998, Kane dropped Veterans Day, his final solo studio album to date. It didn't spark the same buzz or acclaim as his earlier classics, but it marked the close of a legendary chapter for one of the game's most respected voices. The reviews for Veterans Day were a mixed bag, and sales didn't make much noise. But that didn't stop Big Daddy Kane one bit. He never made some dramatic retirement announcement or bowed out quietly. All through the 2000s and beyond, Kane kept showing up. Whether it was hopping on tracks, making surprise appearances, or rocking stages worldwide, he stayed active and proved his name still held major weight in the game. By the early 2000s, Kane made it clear his legacy wasn't locked in the past. He was still respected, still relevant, and still spitting with fire. In 2000, he came through with a standout verse on Tony Touch's Peacemaker mixtape, going bar for bar alongside fellow legends Kool G Rap and KRS-One. That feature wasn't just for nostalgia. Kane showed he could still hang with the best of them. During this stretch, Kane shifted into full-on collab mode. He linked up with both old-school icons and rising underground names, proving he wasn't just chasing trends. He was showing love for the art of it. He worked with golden-era giants like A Tribe Called Quest and tapped into the soul-driven vibes of Jurassic 5, the conscious flows of Little Brother, and even the turntablist genius of DJ Babu from the Beat Junkies crew. And he didn't just pop in for features. Kane dropped 2 heavyweight singles that kept his pen game razor sharp. One was The Man, the Icon, produced by none other than The Alchemist, known for gritty beats and street storytelling. The other, Any Type of Way, was produced by the legendary DJ Premier. On that track, Kane didn't hold back. He gave raw commentary on life in a post-9/11 New York, touching on the tension, fear, and political pressure that was gripping the city. He spit real talk with lines like, "Giuliani got in New York," bringing the same fearless energy that made him a legend in the first place. "Looking like it's Amistad." That was the line Kane dropped, referencing not just the infamous slave ship, but the deep sense of oppression still hanging over New York during Giuliani's reign. Kane wasn't just rapping for bars. He was speaking truth, painting pictures of a city grappling with injustice. In 2003, Kane surprised everyone by diving into a whole new vibe, teaming up with British trip-hop group Morcheeba for their single, What's Your Name? It was a smooth blend of his lyrical edge and their laid-back, genre-bending sound, proof once again that Kane could flex in any lane he wanted. Then, in 2005, Kane finally got the flowers he deserved when VH1 honored him at their annual Hip Hop Honors Show. The event turned into a celebration of his impact, with current stars like T.I., Common, and Black Thought performing his classic hits. Each of them was clearly influenced by Kane's blueprint, his flow, his presence, his style. But the moment that really shook the building, when Kane hit the stage himself to perform Warm It Up Kane, and he brought out his original dancers, Scoob and Scrap Lover. The energy was off the charts, pure throwback vibes from an era when stage presence was everything. And Kane still had it in full force. By 2006, he was still making noise with guest features, this time linking with UK-based duo the Stanton Warriors for Get Wild Off This, from their Stanton Sessions volume. 2 Mix. Even overseas, Kane's voice carried weight. That same year, Kane showed up for a legendary moment at Hot 97's Summer Jam. He shared the stage with a stacked lineup, Wu-Tang Clan, Rakim, Q-Tip, and his longtime ally Busta Rhymes. The performance was part of Busta's tribute to New York hip-hop. And Kane being there wasn't just expected, it was necessary. He's part of the foundation, and he didn't stop evolving. In 2013, Kane started a new chapter, forming a live band called The Last Supper, alongside R&B singer Showtime and the New York-based Lifted crew. Always creating, always reinventing, Kane kept pushing forward. In 2013, Kane and his band The Last Supper dropped their project Back to the Future on March 26th, blending live instrumentation with Kane's timeless bars in a fresh new package. But that wasn't the last time he made noise. In June 2020, with the world deep in protest and pain, Kane stepped back into the spotlight with a powerful message. He dropped Enough, a raw, emotional track that tackled police brutality and racial injustice head-on. It was a bold, heartfelt response to the times, showing Kane was still using his voice to speak on what mattered.
He rocking the jewelry, rocking the suits, had the hairstyle, had the fade, you know what I mean, had the 3 cuts in his eyes, jewelry, everything. Like I said, his flow was rock.
Big Daddy Kane isn't just a legend because of what he did in the past. He's respected because he never stopped standing for something. Widely considered one of the most technically gifted and influential MCs from hip-hop's golden age, his name continues to get mentioned among the greatest to ever do it. MTV ranked him number 7 on their list of the greatest MCs of all time. A huge nod from one of the biggest platforms in the game. But that's just the beginning. In Kool Moe Dee's landmark book, there's a God on the mic. The true 50 greatest MCs, Kane landed even higher at number 4. A serious stamp from another legend. About.com placed him at number 3 in their list of the top 50 MCs of our time, giving props to his lyrical mastery and the huge influence he left behind. Even The Source, often called the Bible of hip-hop, showed love. In 2012, they ranked Kane at number 8 on their top 50 lyricists of all time list. That's major respect in a culture where lyricism is king. And to top it all off, AllMusic praised Kane's legacy by highlighting how his best work stands tall among the finest in hip-hop history. From the way he flipped words to how he helped shape the culture, Kane's impact is undeniable. AllMusic didn't stop at Kane's lyricism. They gave serious props to his whole drenched-in-swagger persona, the smooth player-style energy that influenced a whole generation of rappers. That confident, cool demeanor. It became a blueprint for artists who came after him. Kane didn't just spit bars. He made style part of the package. They described him as an enormously talented battle MC with near-peerless technique and razor-sharp precision. His wordplay was tight, his flow was flawless, and when it came to lyrical combat, he could shut down anyone in his path. Kane didn't just rap. He commanded attention, whether in the booth or on stage. His delivery, his rhythm, and that magnetic stage presence made him a standout, even in an era packed with lyrical beasts. What set him apart was how effortlessly he blended complex rhyme schemes with swagger, power, and grace. Critics and fans alike still hold his first 2 albums in legendary status. Long Live the Kane, 1988, and It's a Big Daddy Thing, 1989, weren't just hits, they were defining moments in hip-hop. These albums shaped the sound of a generation and redefined what it meant to be a star in the game. From rapid-fire street stories and lyrical flexes to smooth love joints and party anthems, Kane proved he could do it all. Even Rolling Stone recognized the consistency of his impact, noting how Kane received steady critical praise throughout his career. Few artists can say their work stayed strong both in public eyes and in critical circles. But Big Daddy Kane, he made it look effortless. To wrap it all up, The Ultimate Guide to Hip-Hop and R&B by Cameron and Devin Lazar puts it plain. Big Daddy Kane is seen as one of the best lyricists of his era. And what's wild? Even today's artists still name-drop him, showing just how deep his influence runs in the DNA of modern hip-hop. Music journalist Peter Shapiro even took it a step further, calling Kane perhaps the most complete MC ever. And that's not just about spitting bars, it covers everything. Lyrical mastery, stage presence, swagger, cultural impact, and the kind of innovation that changed the game. You can feel Kane's fingerprints all over the careers of today's rap kings. Even Eminem, one of the most technically sharp and commercially dominant rappers of all time, paid direct homage to Kane on Yellow Brick Road off his Encore album. That's the kind of respect that doesn't fade, it only grows. From battle-tested bars to fashion trends, from streetwise poetry to socially conscious verses, Kane brought it all. Whether it's the old heads, new school lyricists, or hip-hop scholars, everyone agrees. Big Daddy Kane isn't just a pioneer, he's a permanent fixture in the culture. So if you rocked with this deep dive into a true icon, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to stay tapped in with more legendary stories. Don't forget to share it with your crew, and we'll catch you on the next one.